Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs. I'm Simon from Games Deconstructed, and this is 5-Minute Genres. Today we'll be talking about cozy mysteries. 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's go. What are cozy mysteries? Cozy mysteries are a subgenre of mystery, specifically detective mystery stories. They often take the form of a whodunit, where based on the details of a crime that happens in the lead-up, the detective character has to uncover the identity of the perpetrator. The reader may attempt to solve the mystery in parallel with the detective character, or they may leave the detective work to the detective and be appropriately shocked by the reveal during the climax of the story. Another appealing alternative is the how catch 'em, where the perpetrator is also revealed to the viewer at the very beginning of the story, and the story then follows the events that lead to the culprit's capture. How are cozy mysteries different from other detective stories? Cozy mysteries keep the more colorful elements associated with the detective genre to a bare minimum. There is little to no sex, violence, or cursing featured, and even when murder is the crime, which should make it at least a bit violent, it's often not described in detail and not especially gory. These stories often take place in charming locales like the English countryside, small towns, country manors, and whatnot. Cozies can be seen as an antithesis of hard-boiled detective stories, and they are indeed sometimes called soft-boiled. They often try to emulate some of the tropes of the golden age of detectives from the 20th century, wherein Agatha Christie's work served as the prototype and/or early example of the genre. Who are the characters of cozy mysteries? The main characters are very often amateur detectives. They very often have a tenuous relationship with the police, and they may have a hobby or occupation that provides them with a unique perspective that ultimately proves to be key to solving a crime. They are often women, and they may have a personal link to the cases, or at least to the community that the cases take place in, like owning a shop or a cafe that was frequented by the victim, the perpetrator, or possibly both. When it comes to the perpetrator, they are often a community member. I tenuously divide the perpetrators in cozy mysteries into two categories: the tearful, well-intentioned but ultimately over-their-head softie, and the hiding in plain sight well-poisoner. The first will reluctantly accept being found guilty as means of alleviating their sense of guilt, and will often commit the crime out of desperation, by accident, or under duress. While the other one will often hold some sway in the community, be generally an articulate person, maybe even charismatic, and ultimately unrepentant. The latter's motives often stem from a desire to transform the community in some way, usually to their personal benefit, but not necessarily the community's. Or they may stem from some past events like a generational vendetta, for example. Some examples of cozy mysteries are, in terms of books, the early wave of them were nearly single-handedly established by Agatha Christie, mainly her Miss Marple mystery series, and later books in this vein include the pastiche Magpie Murders, as well as about 1,000 different series with the word mysteries in the title. Bibliophile mysteries, bewitching mysteries, Black Cat Bookshop mysteries, coffee house mysteries, and more. TV shows like Murder, She Wrote or Father Brown, a bunch of indie tabletop RPGs, but maybe most prominently Brindlewood Bay and its offshoots, the so-called carved from Brindlewood titles, and games like The Last Word, which is an excellent indie title that I love with all my heart, and I think you should too. What are cozy mysteries about? Mainly a sense of justice. The murderer, irrespectively of them being sympathetic or wicked, will get justice delivered to them by the hand of the amateur sleuth. This serves to restore a sense of balance and community within the setting, as the characters' lives can return to their everyday calm, at least until another tragedy strikes. If the main character owes their success as a detective to their unique perspective, unconventional skills, and general advantage in mental flexibility over the police, they can present a heartwarming element about finding strength in our individuality, following our passions, etc. And that's all I have to say about cozy mysteries. Thanks a lot for joining me today, and I hope to see you in the next one.